You know, I still get chills thinking about that night at the Grand Plaza Hotel in Manhattan. It was one of those swanky spots where the chandeliers drip with crystals and the air smells like old money mixed with overpriced cologne. And there I was, Sophia, just 24, slinging trays in a crisp black uniform that screamed staff only, dodging glares from folks who'd never lifted a finger for anything but their credit cards. I'd been waitressing there for nearly a year, scraping together cash for my little sister's college fund after our mom passed. Yeah, life hits hard sometimes, but I kept my head down, my smile polite, even when the guests treated me like I was part of the furniture. But that evening, oh man, it turned into something straight out of a movie, the kind where the underdog flips the script and leaves everyone speechless. It started subtle at first. You know how these things do, like a pot simmering before it boils over. I was weaving through the crowd, balancing champagne flutes on my tray, careful not to spill a drop, because one wrong move, and it'd be deducted from my paycheck. And this group of Wall Street types at table 5, all slick suits and flashy watches, they couldn't resist. The ringleader, this guy named Marcus with a smirk that could curdle milk, leaned back as I poured his wine and said loud enough for the whole section to hear, "Easy there. Honey, that bottle's probably worth more than your rent for the year." His buddies chuckled, eyes flicking over me like I was some exhibit, and I felt that familiar sting, sharp like a paper cut, but I just nodded, set the bottle down softly, and moved on, because what else do you do when you're the one keeping the party going? Deep down, though, it burned. I traded my dreams for survival, and these people, with their inherited fortunes and zero empathy, they thrived on stepping on folks like me to feel taller. The mockery picked up steam as the night wore on, spreading like wildfire through the ballroom. First, it was the socialite, Elena, with her diamond earrings swinging like pendulums, whispering to her date, but not really whispering. "Look at her shoes. Darling, probably thrift store specials. Does she even know she's in Manhattan?" Her laugh was this high-pitched trill that cut through the chatter, and her friends joined in, phones out, snapping pics of my faded heels as I cleared plates nearby. I paused for a split second, fingers gripping the tray tighter, knuckles going white, thinking about how Mom used to say, "Soph, grace isn't in what you wear, it's in how you carry the load." But grace felt heavy that night. Then came the influencer chick, Mia, all perfect highlights and fake lashes, leaning over her table with that pitying tone. "Sweetie, you're cute and all, but this crowd? You're out of your league. Stick to the kitchen entrance." She waved dramatically toward the back doors, and the laughter rolled in waves, folks egging each other on, feeding off that ugly mix of boredom and superiority, like humiliating me was their evening entertainment. I kept moving, shoulders squared, but inside it twisted. Why me? Maybe because I didn't grovel, didn't beg for their approval. Or hell, maybe it was just class warfare, them resenting anyone who reminded them life wasn't all caviar and yachts. By the time the band switched to that sultry tango rhythm, deep strings pulling at the air like a heartbeat, the room's energy had turned predatory, everyone glancing around, waiting for someone to step up, but no one did because, let's face it, these folks talked a big game but danced like they had two left feet. That's when Alexander stepped in, the tech billionaire at the head table, mid-40s, sharp suit, that effortless charm masking a guy who'd bulldozed competitors to build his empire, always turning rooms into his personal arena. He caught my quick glance at the empty dance floor, just a flicker, nothing more, and his grin widened like he'd spotted easy prey. Standing up, he raised his glass, voice booming over the music. "All right, let's liven this up. Has got the guts to tango? How about you, waitress? You know what tango even is? Or is wiping tables your only move?" The room erupted, phones pointed my way, ready to capture the flop. Mia giggling, "This'll go viral," her tripping over her own feet, and Marcus adding with a slur, "Bet she thinks tango's a drink. Special comedy gold tonight." Elena chimed in, voice dripping sarcasm. "Why bother standing there looking lost? Stick to refills, dearie, embarrassing us all." Their words piled on, mics of mockery and malice, driven by that deep-seated fear of being upstaged by someone beneath them, like my mere presence challenged their fragile egos. I set my tray down slowly, heart pounding but hands steady, because screw that. I'd danced through worse storms and stepped onto the floor, the spotlight hitting me like an interrogation lamp. But I lifted my chin, posture shifting into something they'd never seen coming. The music swelled, and I moved one fluid step, then another, my body syncing perfectly, arms extending with that quiet power I'd honed in hidden studios back when life allowed dreams. The laughter choked off mid-breath, replaced by this stunned hush, jaws dropping as I spun, my plain uniform fading into irrelevance, each turn a silent slap to their smug faces. Alexander froze at the edge, smile vanishing. Mia's phone lowered, her perfect facade cracking. Even Marcus shifted uncomfortably, drumming fingers like he sensed the tide turning. Whispers started, "Who the hell is she?" But I kept going, steps sharp and commanding, pouring out years of bottled-up fire. Thinking of Mom's frail hands clapping in our tiny living room as I practiced, her voice weak but proud. "That's my girl dance like the world's watching, even when it's not." Then the bombshell drop at a reporter in the corner. Lisa, who'd been quiet all night, pulled up her phone and patched it to the big screen. Old videos of me, Sofia Reyes, 3-time national tango champ at 19, trophies gleaming, my partner struggling to match my fire. "She walked away from it all," Lisa announced, voice cutting through. "To care for her dying mom, hospital bills stacked high, odd jobs to keep the lights on." Photos flashed, me in a simple dress, Mom beside me, her smile fading but real, a headline screaming, "Prodigy sacrifices spotlight for family." The room gasped, faces paling, Elena's pearls suddenly too tight, Marcus muttering desperately, "This changes nothing," still just staff, clinging to his denial like a lifeline. But it rang hollow, their superiority crumbling under the weight of truth. Mia hissed. Those clips could be faked, anyone edits nowadays. But her voice trembled, envy twisting her words, because deep down, they knew. I'd earned my grace through grit they couldn't buy. Alexander stepped forward then, removing his tie with a slow nod, no mockery left, just respect flickering in his eyes, and extended his hand. "In a room of posers, you're the real deal, dance with me." I took it, no smile, just a steady gaze, and we moved together, me guiding subtly, our steps weaving a story of unexpected equals, the music wrapping around us like forgiveness, but not quite. The guests watched, some teary, others bowed heads in shame, Marcus slipping out quietly, Elena draining her glass with shaky fingers, as applause built from the staff first, my fellow servers clapping like a quiet uprising, their support lifting me higher. We finished, hands lingering a beat, and I stepped back, picking up my tray like the night was just another shift, but the air had shifted forever, their cruelty exposed, my strength undeniable. Looking back, it's wild how one dance unraveled all that fake grandeur. Makes you wonder about the masks we wear, right? But hey, was I too forgiving, or did they get off easy? Drop a comment below. Have you ever flipped the script on bullies like that? What's your take on class divides in places like this? Fair game or total BS? Like, subscribe, and share if this hit home. We're all just one step away from our own tango moment.